Hello everyone, this is Jimmy Cultist back again with another logic tutorial. This is a bit of a follow-up to our first-person camera tutorial, so there's useful information in that, but we will do a brief overview of some things that we covered in the previous video. What we're covering today though is slightly different. It's how to make your reticle follow the imp. It could also be considered motion control free aim, I guess. I don't quite know how to describe it, but I'll give you an example. You can rotate the camera, but you can also free aim using the controller's gyro. So yeah, I don't know exactly what you call that, but that's what we're doing today. And it's very simple to modify an already existing first-person camera system into the free aim system. Now before, I covered how I have this this block. I may just scope outside the puppet. I think it'd be better if this stuff was outside the puppet. But I covered this block here, which has all of our weapons and has these little arms on it. You know, gives the impression that you're in first person. And it has all of our, you know, emitters and everything lined up with the reticule, all the stuff that's necessary. And it also has a mount on it, or I should say a teleporter, which previously was called aim block. But what I've done is I've duplicated it with L1 and R2, and I've deleted the arms and the weapons, and I've deleted all the logic except for the teleporter, the camera, and that's pretty much it. I deleted all the other stuff except for that. Now I'll cover why I did this, and I left the original one mostly the same, as you can see. I'm not going to delete that part. But we've got the camera, which is set to cut, and it hides imps, but it doesn't disable controller sensor input. And aim block has the same, you know, match target orientation, and it follows a tag, namely this one, which is inside the puppet's logic, which you can access by scoping in with L1 and X, and then pressing L1 and X to open this chip at his feet, where you will find our aim logic, which, besides the tag, is mostly just copied from the first-person puppet put out by this particular puppet. I just copied the logic and stuck it in here real quick because it's nice and fast, and it's got nice signal manipulator thresholds, pretty much everything you need. And of course, we've animated the pitch of the tag by pressing L1 and square. You can open it up and pitch it up for this linear keyframe. And we have it pitched to the middle. Just use L2 and the right stick to modify the position. And of course, we've got it pitching down. Now, to create a free aim system, though, we've got a bit of an issue, which is that our normal camera, where all of this stuff is on one chip, this is set to target match orientation, which would be the tag. So you can't really free aim if you're locked into the tag. So what I've done is created two camera rigs. One is the central rig, if you will, that follows the puppet. And the secondary rig is the one with all of our, emitters on it and our weapons and everything. And this one has a teleporter that is not set to match target orientation, which I have named, well, not named, but I've set it to follow a tag called free aim post, and that tag is mounted on the other camera mount. It's called free aim post. Make sure you get the capitalization and spacing correct, otherwise it won't work. I've also put a look at rotator on top of this mount, and it's set to, full speed basically, 100% rotation strength and 100% overall dampening, and it follows a tag called reticle point. And over here we've got a separate mount, a third mount, on which I've placed reticle logic, a little dot to act as our reticle, and these things which are just kind of garnish, I guess, make it look neat. We've also got a gyroscope, although it's not really necessary to have one. And we've got the tag called reticle point. So this rig, since it's not set to match target orientation, will follow this tag and aim toward this point. But how do we control this point and make it follow the imp, or the controller's gyro in this case? Well, it's actually super simple. Just stamp a controller sensor down and set it to follow imp. Then go down here and set it to gun style and set it to force possession, and it will automatically follow the imp wherever you point it. Now, one thing I would have to mention before you do this is that the puppet is no longer going to be possessable if we add this logic. I would advise making the puppet remote controllable. That will work a lot better. That way we can possess the reticle freely and have that all work out properly. But let's go ahead and test it in theory and see how it works. You still, if you want to turn left and right, you still have to use the stick. You also still have to kind of aim up and down using the right stick. I should say right stick for turning and pitch. The difference is that within the camera's radius you can now freely aim. There may even be a way where you could rotate the camera merely by pushing the imp to the side, but I'm not covering that in this particular video. Now, there are some minor drawbacks to this system. Even though the teleporter is quite fast, when you're moving it kind of seems to have this weird little motion thing where the gun sort of falls back a bit. It still aims perfectly fine, it'll just kind of be more pressed towards the camera. And when you jump, you'll get this brief, part where the arms fly in front of you, but honestly, that might be considered more realistic depending on your thought process. I mean, if I was jumping, my arms probably wouldn't stay perfectly steady down near my chest. And there may be a way to actually reduce this problem, I just haven't figured it out yet. But overall, I'd say if you're looking to build this kind of system, you might as well experiment with this and see what you can find. Maybe you'll make an even better one than I did. But I think this is pretty much the key right here. The free reticle aim. Anyway, hopefully you found this helpful and you can reproduce the system for yourself. I hope it wasn't too confusing. If you need to know how to set up the overall first-person system, we've got a separate video for that, first-person camera. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this was an insightful video or otherwise enjoyable. If it was, then go ahead and subscribe if you can, and hit the bell to keep up with our videos. Also, subscribed or not, give a like. If you have any questions or statements, leave a comment. We try to answer all comments. If you like what we do here and want to help out, consider becoming a channel member. Alternatively, you can check out the link in the description to support us through Patreon. Until next time, take it easy. That's all for now.